Hello guys, welcome to Chess Mitra. Today we are going to start a new series known as the Botvinnick Sicilian, in which we are going to analyze how the sixth world champion Mikhail Botvinnick used to play the Sicilian defense. This is the first video in the series. We have Benjamin Blumenfeld with the white pieces against Mikhail Botvinnick with the black pieces. So let's start the game. Benjamin starts with e4, Botvinnick plays c5, Benjamin plays c4 trying to go for the Maroczy bind structure, which is considered good for white, but Botvinnick defends the d4 square with knight c6. We have f4, g6, knight f3, bishop g7 taking the diagonal, knight c3, trying to develop the knight via e7 because if the knight goes to f6 then we have e5 kicking away the knight, and if knight goes to h6 then it has no squares. White plays b3, knight g7, bishop b2 developing the bishop, d5. Botvinnick attacks in the center. Here e5 is the best move which white played, because if white captures e captures d5 then we have e captures d5, c captures d5, knight captures d5, knight captures d5, and bishop takes b2. Now we are attacking both the rook and the knight, and white will at least lose an exchange. If instead white captures c captures d5, then we have e captures d5, e5, blocking the way of our bishop. Black castles, bishop b5, f6. If white captures on f6, then we have bishop captures f6 and we have the long diagonal. If instead white castles, then we have f captures e5, knight captures e5, knight captures e5, f captures e5, bishop captures e5, and we are up a pawn. So in this position e5 was played. Now we have b6, d4, c cross d4, knight b5 eyeing the d6 square, castles, knight f captures d4, knight captures d4, bishop captures d4. Here white captures on d4 with the bishop. This is the most critical moment of the game. Here black has a winning move. Can you find it? Please pause the video and check. The winning move is knight f5, because white has to play bishop f2. If white goes to this diagonal, like if white goes bishop b2, then we have queen h4 check, g3, and knight takes g3. We'll either win a rook or we have a discovered check. Here black is winning. If instead of going to this diagonal with the bishop, if white plays bishop e2, then we have a6 kicking away the knight, knight c3, then we play f6. If white takes on f6, then we play bishop f6, bishop cross f6, queen cross f6, queen d3 is the only move, because if white moves the knight or defend the knight with the rook, then we threaten the queen and the pawn at the same time. So queen d3 is the best move. Here we have d captures on c4, b captures on c4, and bishop b7. We have the whole long diagonal and black is completely winning. If instead of capturing on f6, white castles, then we have f captures on e5, bishop captures e5, and knight e3, forking the king and the rook. If instead of bishop captures e5, white plays f captures on e5, then we play d captures on c4. We are attacking the bishop twice, so the bishop has to move, otherwise white loses the bishop. So if white plays bishop f2, then we are up a pawn. So bishop f2 was the best move. Botvinnick plays bishop b7, white plays g4, Botvinnick goes to h4 with the idea of taking here and attacking the rook, and if the rook moves then Botvinnick will give a check and the king will remain in the center for the whole game. White goes knight d6 attacking the bishop, Botvinnick moved the bishop to c6. White plays g5, threatening the knight on h4 square. But Botvinnick plays d captures on c4, attacking the rook. There is no better move than capturing the knight, because if white moves the rook, then black's knight comes in with a check, anyway picking up the rook. So white takes on h4, Botvinnick takes the rook, bishop cross c4, queen e7, queen g4, bishop d5. Since Botvinnick is up an exchange, he tries to exchange more pieces. Rook d1, rook a d8, bishop cross d5, e cross d5, rook cross d5. Here Botvinnick finishes the game in style with bishop cross e5. If white takes with the rook, he loses the knight, so he takes with the pawn. Here Botvinnick plays the brilliant move, rook cross d6. White cannot take with the pawn because it is pinned to the king. If white takes with the rook, then here Botvinnick will go queen takes e5 check, picking away the rook. So here white resigned the game. Thank you for watching and please stay tuned for more chess related content.